beautiful to have her back here. This is here on our right here. This is Georg Stage, who has just returned to Copenhagen Harbour. Georg Stage here is one of two main training vessels we have here in Denmark, where young aspiring seamen they can train to become fully fledged seamen. Denmark very much still a very proud naval nation with a strong commercial fleet that needs new talent every year. Very much still an active ship here. About a month ago, it was actually up in the Faroe Islands, where the King and Queen visited the Faroe Island, part of the Danish kingdom. Having the oldest sailing royal yacht in the world, by the way, quite easy by now. We're down to having only Denmark and Norway with that tradition. And he gifted us this statue here back in 1913, and she's been sitting here on her rock ever since, waiting for her prince to come. It has not always been easy to be the Little Mermaid. She's been decapitated twice, had her arms sawn off once, paint thrown at her many times, and other shenanigans, but we always managed to get her back. Stronger than ever, you can say. Marble church over the Christian statue of King Frederick V, and all the way over the water you see that you end up right in the middle of the opera. A coincidence? Of course not. That is by design, that is by request, completing the Axis of Power, and the gift of the opera here, Mads McKinney-Møller, he was himself gifted back in the year 2000, the Order of the Elephant by the Queen. That is the highest acclaim you can get here in Denmark. Only ever been given to 8 non-head of states. Parts of the Christiansborg Castle. Christiansborg Castle here burned down a number of times. This is actually the third version of the Christiansborg Castle we're looking at. Low bridge, please remain seated, thank you.
Okay, we've just entered the Christiansborg Castle, or palace, and are wearing protective blue covers on our shoes, including Irma's boot. And she's making her way up without a cane, without her scooter, made it up to the palace, at least part way up the grand staircase. Big green room. Here's the library. the royal kitchen. Looks like they use a lot of copper pots, tea kettles, big pots, stewing pots, you name it. Wow.
The garden of the Royal Library was originally the naval port of King Christiansborg, but is today a green oasis on the castle.
Yes. Let's go
So priorities are for cyclists going through this arch. So you can see there are pedestrian arrows to go that way and pedestrian arrows to go that way. But we're not allowed to go pedestrian-wise that way because this is strictly for cyclists.
Fortunately, we have no restrictions.
Yep, we're good. Little detour to IKEA because we went south instead of north today. Start off our day taking the S train towards the Little Mermaid to Oosterpoort. We missed our train, oh no, but not to be alarmed. One comes every 3 or 4 minutes. All right, we made it to the Amalienborg Palace, which I believe is, I think, straight ahead there. Or it could be straight ahead here. Or it could be straight ahead here. We have a guard right here. Another guard here.
Ale nie odchodź. To musisz poczekać. Na razie jesteś ze mną. Nie wolno teraz odchodzić, bo ja nie wiem, czy oni są.
Now, big! March!
Naar de militaire kazerne bij Rozenborg.
Turn right onto Dronningens to Bergade.
Also er har
On our way to Rosenberg, which is in this direction, green light. Cookies in the market at Photek City.
Hello?
I believe this is called the King's Garden.
That's what it says right there.
It's the garden at the Rosenberg Castle. It's adjacent to the castle. It says, please do not feed the animals in King's Garden. Ah, it is King's Garden.
Right. Sorry.
It's the Rosenberg Castle.
fortsætter bare.
All right, time to use the potty. Yep. Potty with a view. Alright, we're down in the treasury where they keep all the valuable things, including things like wine vats or maybe whiskey, beer, who knows what.
Ladies and gentlemen, very welcome on board. I hope you're sitting nice and comfortably, snugly in your seats. And from behalf of myself, my name is Jacob, and the marvelous and it's a privilege to have this captain with me, Captain Botanical on board. Welcome on board. And that was the thank you for the thank you. I introduced that very poorly. Normally, thank you. It's better to applaud in the beginning and then no applause at no. You can also applaud at the end if you like to. I hope you're welcome aboard. This is our last tour. We've been out here in the sun for a while now. And that was the first thing I should say. The second thing I want to say is for your own safety instruction. That we're going to pass below quite a few bridges. And we have a little bit of a water, we have a little bit of a high tide, so they can seem a little more crammed than they usually are. So please, 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 just don't stand up when we pass and leave the bridge. It's not saying anything. Everyone's not saying anything. popular to rent these boats. You can rent these go boats, and people, you know, they do it and they bring wine and all sorts of interesting things on board. And you know, when you're out here whole day, you see all sorts of odd things happening as a result. Now here before you can see at the very back, you can see the church that we passed not long ago, about 20 minutes ago, the church, Our Saviour's Church here in the very back with its spiral exterior staircase. You can climb all the way to the top of the staircase. If you're scared of heights, I don't recommend it. Not because it's very high up, but because it's very narrow, the bridge, but you can do it. And on the left, on your right hand side here, we have the very cool kayak bar, which is also very fabulous and popular, where you can enjoy a little time out in your visit around the city. And as the name suggests, you can rent kayaks from this place. There's also a kayak you can rent for free. I'll tell you how in just very, very low bridge for the last time on this tour. The new harbour bridge in front of us, the lowest one. So, I think the audio guide also mentioned that Hans Christian Andersen, the Danish author, lived here. He lived in 3 different houses. One of them he lived in is that house over there on the right with the 3 windows on each floor and the black railing on the top. He also lived in the red house. These houses are more famous for his presence here, in the red house and the orange house on the left hand side. I'll come back to that once we have passed this bridge. Yeah. For the moment I've indicated the time when he lived here. I think he actually died in the house next to it, in the orange house, but he was particularly fond of this neighborhood. New Harbour, which is the picture postcard of Copenhagen. Is the neighborhood that most people, you know, the one with the colorful house, etc. With lots of life, lots of bars, lots of cozy, cool places. A little bit pricey nowadays. As a matter of fact, back in the 80s, this neighborhood was known as the area in Copenhagen where the pleasure houses and the drunk sailors hung around. So a little different than what it used to be. But very old it is indeed, and the oldest house that you'll find here, is the blue one here on your right hand side with the orange triangular roof. On the facade it's written 1681, and this house is an original house from that very time, 1681.
distance we have downtown Copenhagen. The places we've seen. May re-explore some tomorrow. But for right now, we'll enjoy the sunset. Walking inside of the Botanical Garden. And just notice everyone picnicking, enjoying the time in the sun.
Har du varit i Central Park på sommaren? Ja, og man siger, nej, det var godt. Altså, man ved det godt. Det er